Sorry to call so early. My name is Adam Smith, calling from nobelprize.org in Stockholm, and I wondered whether it was possible to speak to David Julius.
Yes. You guys have a number that will get a hold of him. Okay, here he is. The Nobel Prize.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Yes. Well, very much morning for you.
Yes.
So my name's Adam Smith. I'm calling from nobelprize.org, and we have this tradition of recording just very short interviews with new laureates. Would you mind speaking?
No, let me just finish pouring some water into my coffee maker, because that's going to be essential in the next, and then I'll be with you in a second. Okay. All right, I'm good.
I think, that is the tip that surely passed from laureate to laureate. You need coffee to survive this day.
Coffee, exactly. Oh, my goodness.
So how did the news actually reach you?
Well, it was actually quite strange. I was nicely asleep, and my phone, which I had by my bed, going, ah. So I look at the, what's this all about, the dinging, and there's a text in there from my sister-in-law, who lives in California, but in Santa Cruz. And she says, let's see, I'll look at the text. It says, I thought it was some kind of a prank. Anyway, it said, it's buried back here now. I've got so many texts. But it says something like, someone's been trying to reach you by the name of Thomas Perlman. and I didn't want to give him your phone number. So, but here's his phone number.
Yeah.
And she said, I looked him up on the web. He seems like a reasonable guy, or something like that. But she says, anyway, so then I said, okay, well, then I came on my wife's phone too. So she kind of woke up, and I said, what do you think about this? So she called, and he said, I've been trying to get a hold of David. So then I spoke to him, and he said, I have about 3 minutes, and I'm so happy to talk to you, but I now have to go out and do the announcement. So call me back in an hour. So I have to call him back in, 20 minutes or so. Anyway, so that's how it happened.
That's an absolutely marvellous story. And how wonderful to have two gatekeepers protecting you, your sister and your wife.
Yeah.
A hard man to reach, but how wonderful. So once the news had got to you, what was the first thing you did?
Well, I kept telling Holly, it's a prank. Don't call Thomas. Anyway, then Thomas said, you should go to the YouTube and watch the announcement. So that's the first thing I did. Okay. Sat here in the kitchen and watched the announcement. Yeah. and then I made a couple of phone calls to some close colleagues or texts. And but by that time, my phone was blowing up, as they say. So I haven't had much time to do much else. I talked to my mom. That's very important.
Yeah, indeed.
And
what does she say?
And she's like overwhelmed, says, this is just unbelievable. She said, but you work so hard, you deserve it.
Good. She's behaving exactly as a mother should do. Fantastic. Yes.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. So she's very proud, and she's probably a little bit in shock, as we all are. And then my brother called me, and so it's been an exciting hour or so.
Yes. It sounds wild and lovely. Talking of gatekeepers, it's just extraordinary that you've discovered these gatekeepers for temperature sensing, which everybody kind of for eons has taken for granted. We can sense temperature, but we never knew how until now. So the question is, how come you were able to get there? How come you identified the right question?
Well, first of all, I like what you said. It's actually true that, and it's true for many of our senses, but maybe more so for touch and pain. We experience it, but we take it for granted, in terms of mechanistically. But the reason that we were able to do it is because we started looking at the natural world in terms of natural products. And we asked how things that tickle our pain sensors work, chemicals from plants that are used to, presumably, for them to defend themselves. And so we sort of kind of did an end run around the problem by turning to some natural product pharmacology. And that's how we did it.
There's a nice message in there, really, that turning to nature is always a good thing, especially in these days of kind of recognition of the importance of nurturing the planet.
That's right. Yeah. Keeping our different species going, and when you think about it, how many drugs, were discovered or derived from natural products. It's really pretty astounding. So, and that's certainly true in the pain world. You know, aspirin comes from willow bark, morphine comes from the opium poppy, but this extends to all facets of medicine. And so keeping those sources of natural products around is really critical.
And these discoveries, of course, open up the possibility of new treatments for pain, which are so desperately needed.
Yeah, so that's the hope. Molecules we've discovered, but also that, other people have discovered over the years since molecular biology has really made inroads into that problem, will reveal all these new targets for non-opioid based mechanisms for dealing with pain.
Yeah. I just wanted to ask you very quickly, you did your doctorate with Randy Sheckman, you postdoced with Richard Axel. What did hanging out with these Nobel laureates teach you about how to approach research?
And I should also say, when I worked with Randy, I had a co-mentor who worked very closely with Jeremy Thorner, who's not a Nobel laureate, but a superb scientist.
Indeed.
And what I learned from all these guys was, of course, I worked for them long before they got their Nobel Prizes, but, they are all unbelievably curious. That's the main thing, and rigorous, and they are always, it has so much energy, all those people, they're always intensely, with their groups, interacting with their groups, encouraging them to ask difficult questions. You just sort of get a sense when you're with those people where the bar should be in terms of doing science, and really sort of investing yourself in it. So that, I guess that's kind of what drew me to them in the first place. But somehow, figuring that out even when I was young. But they have an intensity and a curiosity that's just really special.
Wonderful. Thank you very much indeed. Well, I should let you get to the coffee and to the rest of the day, which is just going to be mad.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. It's been so lovely speaking to you.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you very much.
If you enjoyed this moment, you might also like this special edition of the Nobel Prize Conversations podcast. Adam Smith takes a turn as guest and recalls his favourite moments from these very special calls.